All right, yes. So this is episode 14, I believe, of the devlogs. And yeah, I'm starting late, but better late than never. Better late than never. Um, so what did we do last time? I do have a note. So last time, what we did, we've got our strike super short logic sorted inside Game Manager. Done that. And then last episode, everything we did was in game feel, completed the rumble for strikes and for normal strikes and for the super short build up. That got sorted. And I implemented some type of screen movement for when the paddle moves. So I refactored all of this so that I apply all camera feel, and inside there I'm enabling the screen shake, adding that onto the final offset and rotation, and then I've got camera drift, which is moving the paddle left and right, and adding on top of what was before to the final offset and the final rotation. So if I show you what it looks like now, quickly, obviously if you saw last episode, you'd know. So this is what it looks like. You can see it's very subtle, maybe a bit too much. There is a slight rotation. I might turn rotation off, to be honest, but I'll leave it for now in terms of playing the game. Like I said, because it looks alright, but when you play, sometimes it's a bit off-putting. So that's that. You can tell that it's moving. Alright, in terms of next steps, so I was gonna do. I remember the original plan was implement camera kick, and then also apply camera effects to the HUD. But before then, I want to fix the scoring bug. It should be relatively quick, but I know what it is. Essentially, inside Game Manager, we've got, if I can find it, on ball hit, points to add this, add it to the score, and then increment the combo multiplier. And what I realized was on a super shot, nothing was happening. You wasn't getting extra an increment to your combo, or you weren't getting an increment to the score. I did quickly just plug in, where is it? Inside on super shot detected. I did quickly plug in, add the points, add the combo mode, everything like that. The thing is, this is exactly the same as before, and it doesn't work how I want to. It shows up immediately once you trigger a super shot on the stats. I want to, after the super shot build up, hit the ball and then show the score. And then I also need to figure out what sort of how I'm going to calculate super shots points and multiply, because it should be better than a normal shot, obviously. So I'm going to quickly do that. Shouldn't be too long. There is a slight issue with inside trigger super shot slowdown. So what this does, if I can explain quickly, it detects a super shot, triggers super shot slowdown, and then while it's slowing down and everything's slowed down for like 3 seconds, whatever, it actually continues on, and that's why the score still updates before the end of super shot. So I need to figure out a way how to do that after super shot has ended. After super shot has ended. So I'm gonna do that now, and then I'll explain it. It should be quick, and then we can get on to other things. Alright, so that is done. Um, I had a lot of things to do, so that's why it's later in the day. But still managed to get this done. I've done a couple of things. Firstly, so I had to obviously calculate Supershot's own sort of calculations for the score and stuff like that. So the way I decided to make it, just quickly, so if you do a super shot, I don't know why I always draw it, but you got a super shot, the ball's here, trigger it. I thought an added benefit to super shot could be, oh, give them an extra life, but that felt a bit too. It felt a bit too much to give an extra life every super shot, so I decided to make it 4 shots per 4 super shots will give you an extra life. So if you manage in a game, you might lose a life, go down to 2 lives, but then you do 4 super shots, then then you gain back an extra life as well. I might add a cap to in terms of max lives if you're like really good, but right for now that's good. So every single super shot you get that, and then how we were calculating it before for a normal shot, we'd take the base and the combo mode. Oh, and then multiply them. So the base strikes per hit times by the whatever the combo mode is at that time. Get that, apply that to score, and then take that combo mode and increment it by combo mode increment. So if the combo mode increment was 1, so then increase the combo mode by 1 for every single hit. So basically what I did, that was a poor explanation, I'm so sorry. Basically what I did was create Supershot's own variables for this and then extrapolate changing the score into its own method. That way I can plug in whatever values I want. So it's easier to explain if I show you. Calc and apply score takes base points combo mult increment. We take the combo multiplier, increase it by the increment, and the score gets increased by the base points times by whatever the combo mult is at that time. Right? So that's good. We go up here, you'll find before we had where is it gone? Combo mult increment, base points per strike. Then I just created super shot combo mult increment, which is 3 instead of 1. Base points per strike 250 instead of 100. And then we got super shots per extra life for and current extra life pool. That's however many super shots you got. And then once you reach 4, then you do that. So where should I show you? Calculate extra life. It's simple. Current extra life pool. So if it's at 0, you do super shot. Now it's at 1 out of 4. You do another super shot. Now it's at 2 out of 4. Another super shot. 3 out of 4. Then you do another super shot. It increases that 4 out of 4. If current extra life pool is greater than or equal to super shot per extra life, which is 4, then increase the lives and then set current extra life pool to 0. So it's simple. I explained calc and apply score. So now on super shot detected, check if it's currently super shot. Oh, set so that it is currently a super shot. Await trigger super shot slowdown. Now what await means, so we go to trigger super shot slowdown, everything's the same. We instead of returning void, we return task, and what await means is pause this whole method here until this method trigger super shot slowdown finishes, then go. Basically, since it was an async and I was doing await inside here, the whole method was carrying on. So in order to pause this method and wait for this to be done, I got to return a task and then set it to await in whatever method was calling it. Done that so that it waits now. Then at the end of super shot, it calculates and applies score, give it the base super shot points and the super shot combo increment. Calculate extra life, which is checking, okay, have you done 1 out of 4 super shots, 2 out of 4, whatever, and then emit stats have changed. That's sorted. I also did change another thing, if I can find it. There we go. Emit stats changed, same as before, but instead this time before I was sending in lives, score, combo multiplier as separate things. Instead, I decided to make the same thing with strike info. I've got score info, so I can plug all of these in. Give it the score, lives, combo, extra life pool, super shots per extra life, and just give it all in one package. And now, whenever I emit that the stats have changed, I give it this score info. And in that way, inside the HUD, I just added this thing here, extra life label, which is a label to show how close are you, how much progress have you done in terms of getting an extra life. And then it just showcases here extra life info, extra life pool out of super shots per extra life. Right, so it should, in terms of showing it to you, it should be very clear. So let's build. If we run now, okay, so I've set it to unlimited lives for now. I'll unset it to that. I'll unset it later. But for now, normal shot, score goes up normally. Everything's normal. And on the super shot, everything awaits. Boom. And then you can see it went up by 3. Now it's gone back down to 1. But the score went up significantly as well. And now it says extra life 1 out of 4. And if we reach 4 out of 4, so let's just do that quickly. 2. And you can see that the stats wait until super shot is done to then show it. It reached 4 out of 4, went back to 0 and increased the lives. And just to show that it works normally without unlimited lives, we can go here and let's lose life. Now we're on 2 lives. Let's do 4 super shots. So 1, 2, you can see combo mult should be 12 after this. It's right now it's 9, 12. And then 1 more super shot, it should give us back to 3 lives. There we go. So that's good. It works now. It works well. I like it. I don't know. I'm unsure about the exact values for how much I'm incrementing a normal shot and how much I'm incrementing a super shot in terms of its score and the combo. But that's something I'm leaving for now. Once everything's more put together and in terms of like how many super shots it should take for an extra life and whether I should cap lives, that's something that I'm going to leave for now. Once everything is more put together in terms of the whole game, then I can actually feel it out much better and go, okay, you know what, score's going up a bit too much, let me tweak the values. The best thing about this is I can tweak the values very easily. I can just be like, okay, I'm giving away too many points, so decrease this, and the combo's not big enough, so increase that or whatever. So that's good. We've got that sorted out. So let's look at this. This bug's done. Goodbye. This, I was just trying to calculate, okay, how should I calculate everything? That's done. Scoring bug finished. So, next, the next step, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow, I'll try to get some of it done today as well. The next step is to implement camera kick inside of GameFeel. So, right now you can see the camera moves left and right and slightly rotates. slightly like tilts this way and that way. So that's good. That's for camera movement. Now I want camera kick, where when you're charging, maybe I might add this. When you're charging it, it slightly goes down the camera, and then when you release, it lerps back up, so it's a soft release. But also, the main thing is when you hit the ball, not for a super shot as well, but for normal shots, when you hit the ball. Now I can't stop getting super shots. There you go. When you hit the ball, the camera should like go up. Like I need to, I need to stop being good at my game. Basically, let's forget this. You're playing the game, hit the ball, camera should kick up slightly. Again, just a subtle thing. I don't want it to be too strong, and I want it to be variable for if it's a higher charge and a closer proximity, it should be a bigger kick as opposed to if it's on the edge of the paddle, then it should be more subtle. But overall, as the whole thing, it should be subtle, but it should add to the overall game feel as well. Then after I've done that, and I show it to you guys, then I can implement movement for HUD elements like the score and stuff like that. So let me get on with doing that. Alright, so it's the next day, and that is done. It took a long while to do it. When I start like developing things, it's like it's much more deeper than I initially give it thought of. There's a lot more like working parts and like architectural changes that I need to do along the way. And yeah, it took me a long time to implement camera kick. Where do I begin in terms of trying to explain this? So basically, I initially wanted to. Initially, what I made was like, let's just draw this. We have the what's shown on screen, and then the rest of the world, let's say, and then pivot. We got this, and then the ball's here, and then you strike the ball. And when you strike the ball, no matter which direction the ball goes, just kick the camera up. That was the initial plan, and I implemented that. And then I quickly realized it feels a bit wonky because let's say that the player's aiming there, right? And then he strikes the ball here, and the ball goes the ball goes in that direction, and then the player's technically aiming there. Then what the hell am I supposed to do? Well, essentially, what I do is take the middle ground of that, and then move the camera in that direction instead. So instead of always moving the camera up, move it in between the middle ground between the aim direction and the ball direction. Just generally kick the camera in that direction. So I did a lot of changes. The good thing about linking this up to GitHub is I can see exactly what files I changed. So in strike info, I added aim direction because I needed it in one of my scripts, and then I thought I might as well just, instead of pulling it directly from the paddle, I'm just going to chuck it into strike info in case I need it later on. So we got that. Best place to start, I guess, is paddle. So let's go paddle. How do I explain this? Okay, we've got. I can't even remember what was the last time I. What was the last thing I explained? So I was looking at paddle and I realized, all right, I need the middle ground. Well, initially I made this the one where the camera just moves up. I made that and did all the logic for that, and then realized that I actually don't want it. I actually don't like it like this. So I checked. Okay, how am I how am I figuring out the aim direction for paddle? Oh, also before then, I also went through ChatGPT, gave it all my files just so it can organize the code because the code was getting messy and I was having different things, different like variables and methods in random places. So I asked it to just clean it up, just shift it, organize it. And I also added these things called export groups. So I was watching a video about Godot and somebody explained export groups where for the um, what is this thing called? The inspector, you have a bunch of these stuff which you can toggle and whatever on the fly. And then I was realizing it's getting really long. Like I don't know how I'm gonna deal with this. And then I just stumbled upon across a video that said you can have export groups and group things up together. So I got my node references here, and I could just like shift, I don't know what you call it, like collapse it basically, so that I don't have to see it anymore. And then, all right, what I'm working on is camera kick, so I'll leave this open, and then maybe I'll leave like the feature toggles open, but I don't need to fumble around with like rumble and super short build up and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I done that, and then I came here. Where is it? This is gonna be so difficult. Aim direction. Added it to the strike info that I'm emitting on ball hit. We get the aim direction, and I'm grabbing that paddle facing angle, get aim angle radians. If I can show that, it should be up here. Nope. There we go. So essentially, this returns a float of the aim angle, and then where is it gone? Then with that, obviously I need the aim direction, which is a vector 2. So you plug that paddle facing angle into get aim direction, which should be up here somewhere. Get aim direction. There we go. And get aim direction is maths dot cos paddle facing angle sine paddle facing angle. I was already doing this before in calc strike direction. Then I realized let me extrapolate it and just do that instead. So that way, every time the ball's hit, I'm getting the ball direction as well as the aim direction now. So that's good. Paddle sorted. So I had to like rejig the architecture for that. Then inside game manager, emit signal super shot has ended. I added an argument to that called release direction, which I already have here anyways. So I just needed to plug that in. And then obviously the main thing is game fill. So let's explain this wherever I have camera kick. So we know already apply all camera fill. Godot kick offset kick rotation equals calculate camera kick, give it the delta, and add both to the final offset and rotation. That's fine. So we go calculate camera kick. This is where the bulk of the work was done. Should be here. Yeah. So calculate camera kick. We set the rotation to 0 because with kick you're not rotating at all. So I'm always going to leave it at 0. And I thought it's better to leave it there in case later on I want to do something with rotation. Then I could just tweak the rotation value. times getting delta, basically turning it into a float. I'm not sure why we do that. We can actually get rid of that. We're not using that. Oh no, we are using that. Okay, that's fine. So get the time since the last frame. Offset equals current kick offset. So like you hit the ball, the current kick offset is like there, right? And then it's just saying, okay, that's the current one now. That's the offset inside here. Safely check for edge cases and dodgy frames, so that's just dealing with delta. Smoothing, calculate the recovery smoothing. How much current kick should move back towards zero? This again, I'm not sure like the maths behind it, but I know that it does that. So camera kick, recovery sharpness. So if I set it high, then it's going to move quicker towards zero. If I set it low, then it's going to move slower towards zero. Move from current kick towards zero by smoothing amount. So we get current kick offset and we lerp towards zero by the smoothing amount that I've calculated and setting that to the current kick offset. And obviously that's basically what it's doing, is slowly lerping towards zero. And then once current kick offset dot length is less than or equal to 0.01, obviously with lerp it's just always doing half the distance, half the distance, half the distance. That's how it eases towards something. And because of that, it basically never reaches actual zero or the actual amount that you're looking for. So we're checking, okay, if it's a small enough amount, then current kick offset equals Godot dot vector 0, and then just return offset. Is that correct? Oh yeah, just return offset and rotation, because we're constantly changing this value. Yeah, so that's fine. And then inside my add camera kick, we've got this one here where you're given the strike info, calculating the kick to add, camera kick base offset, ball proximity, camera kick max charge. So taking in the charge, taking in the ball proximity, and then adding that to the camera kickoff base, and then getting the middle direction, which is taking the info, strike info, aim direction, the ball direction, normalizing it, because if one is longer than the other, you don't want that. We just want the direction, not the length. So normalizing it to 1, sorry. Guard, in case directions are opposite, it shouldn't trigger, but just to be safe. And then just doing another middle direction dot normalized, and then add camera kick, middle direction, kick to add, and that's this method there. So it just checks is camera enabled. If it's 0, return on both. Kick to add direction dot normalize times the amount. So it's checking, okay, what length do we want to make it, basically? How much kick do we want, depending on how much we charge the strike and how close the ball is, and the base kick offset. And then just adding the kick to add to the current, and then checking, okay, if this current kick offset, the length, if the current kick offset's length is larger than the max kick offset that I've set, because I don't want it to be a really large strike and it goes flying off the screen. So I set a max. So if it's larger than the max, then current kick offset dot normalize times the max, and just apply that to the current. And then we're calling that, we're kicking all that off through on ball hit. We just slided it in here. So whenever the ball's hit, do the hit stop, add the trauma, add the camera kick, do hit rumble. And same thing on super shot ended, add trauma, add camera kick, apply rumble, and this time with camera kick, We're giving it the release direction, which I spoke about here. And we're giving it the super short release kickoff set. And that's about it. So with these files and these scripts getting larger and larger, it's getting so long to like explain how things are working and thing. And like scrolling through, like right now my game file is 370 lines long. My paddle is like 400, above 400. Game manager is 271. I mean, it's getting unbearable now. But I've realized like the more features I'm adding, the more I have to weave things in and out and change architecture around and oh, it's getting long. It's getting unwieldy. Because I initially set this off, if you remember. Not here. These are my things just for me to remember. It's over here. If you remember, I initially had fix the bug, then implement camera kick inside game fill, and then apply camera effects to HUD. And I thought, oh, within a day I'll be able to do that. Each thing has taken me a day each, man. So it's getting unwieldy. But I don't mean to nag. It is fun. Through the hardship, it is kind of fun. So anyways, that's that. Hopefully I explained that correctly. And then now I can actually show you what it looks like. There we go. And this is all for features that I thought, okay, let me just implement it because I'll implement it quickly. And if I don't like it, then I can just not use it. But I put so much work into it now. So we can see camera moves like before. And every time you hit, and it's harder to tell because there is screen shake as well. So let me actually disable screen shake. It would be in. So let's get rid of screen shake so that we can see it better. And let's get rid of camera drift as well. So hopefully that should show. Well, let me restart that. So right now it's just aiming upwards. Yeah. Aiming upwards and the ball's going directly upwards, so the camera should kick just up. And then if I start adding direction to that, there we go. You can see now it takes the direction into account, and then if I do like a super shot, it should be like slightly more basically. I think the values are a little bit off. These values here are a little bit off. I do need to tweak them, but like I said before, once everything's more put together, it's going to be easier for me to come back in and start tweaking these values and seeing what feels the best. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. And then with everything toggled on, all together, it should start feeling like a proper package now. So with screen shake, with the camera drift, and with vibration and a kick as well, it's all coming together now. So I kind of like it. I need to fix that bug as well. We got this. So yeah, like it feels really good. Little shake, kick the camera, and shake at the same time. Even though with the camera shake, as well as the drift, with the kick enabled as well, it's harder to tell it's harder to tell that anything's happening. But I feel like subliminally in the back of your mind you can tell that it's really like, it's really good. Because I was playing with camera kick, just kicking upwards, and even though I feel like most players wouldn't notice, it still felt off to me. But with a directional camera kick, then it felt like a proper kick instead of thing. So now so before when I was playing I didn't have any of these. It just felt floaty. So let's try that. Let's remove kick, remove drift, remove vibration, remove shake, right? This is what it was originally. So very flat. Doesn't feel, it feels like a completely different game now. And then before I didn't have hit stop either, and So it still feels like a game. I can't believe someone might toggle all of these off and still decide to play, because it feels like just such a flat game. So then obviously let's toggle all of these on. I'm like personally someone who likes vibration in games. So we got the camera moving. So camera drift I'm still a bit iffy on. But I mean, like, every hit feels like a punch now. Like, it feels proper weighty. The controller vibrates, the screen stops, like the hit stop gets engaged, the screen shakes, and then the camera kicks, and it all like just kind of blends together. Like, it feels much better. I really like it. I really do. I do feel like, yeah, like I said, the values are a bit off for all of it. But I can tweak those later and start like I can mess about with those later, and I'd rather get like start implementing other stuff. And then once everything's more put together, then it will make more sense to tweak them then. But for now, like, I'm happy with what I got. So that's good. That's camera kick done. Longer than I thought. The original plan was to do the bug, implement camera kick, add the camera movement effects for HUD as well. But I'm not going to be able to do that. That's sorted. That's going to be the end of the devlog. To just recap what we've done is, because I got a file here, we implemented scoring for super shots. We added a way so that score gets updated after super shot slowdown, not before. Yeah, I remember that. Added 4 super shots to give extra life and show it on the HUD. Made score info and packaged it alongside stats updated. That's talking about this thing here, score info, so that I can get score and lives and combo and whatever. And that's used inside HUD, I believe. Yeah, look, score info. And potentially later on in the game I should add that to game over, but it's alright for now. So we've done that. Organized the code using ChatGPT. So I used AI because I thought that's a perfect use for AI, just to read my files and just organize it so that there are export groups and signals are in one place and the ball setup is in one place and stuff like that. And then I added aim direction to strike info, added get aim direction and get aim angle radians to paddle for my, and in game manager, oh, it's a lot. In game manager I had trigger super shot slowdown for my emit signal for super shot ended, giving the release direction as well. And then the bulk was game feel, and we added camera kick. So we added where is it, calculate camera kick, we got add camera kick, another add camera kick, implemented it inside of super shot end, and then applying all of that to apply all camera feel, adding it to there. So that's a recap. That's going to be the end. The plan for the next episode is going to be apply camera effects to the HUD. So yeah, I'm going to have to work inside HUD to make it so that whenever the camera, I don't know about movement, maybe movement and hits and super shots will all kick and move the HUD about so that it feels a little bit more immersive. That's the plan for the next episode. But for today I'm done. I'm going to try edit this and upload it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.